Why no KB and Baker, but KJ Osborne plays? That's crazy. So let's talk about the wide receiver room as a whole, Taylor. Andrew Callahan actually reports it. I think we have a graphic. We can bring up Callahan's report as well. But he reported before the game, that Kendrick Bourne was told yesterday afternoon that he may not play as they try to prioritize playing time for their younger receivers. He also obviously did not see much, if any, run today. Jalen Polk has 1 catch for 2 yards. KJ Osborne, after being inactive last week as a healthy scratch, ends up playing, and he sort of turns into that backup role instead of Kendrick Bourne. Kind of odd, I think, Taylor, because you have Kendrick Bourne on this 3-year deal. You paid him this offseason. He's sort of become a leader in that room. And you have KJ Osborne playing as someone who, again, he's been a professional. We've seen it. He hasn't really caused any gripes. He had the one Instagram hiccup, but everyone keeps calling that a bad thing. I didn't even think that was that bad that he just posted that he was supposed to be inactive.
I think it was worse in the context of what was going on. Where it's like we have all these people doing this, and now you get one of your I get why.
It was all piling up at once at that point. Yes, I think that was just But so regardless, KJ Osborne active today, plays over Kendrick Bourne, and Osborne, someone who had the hiccup on Instagram, someone who kind of didn't say that he didn't want to be traded. I thought that might have been a little bit blown out of proportion when it came out too, but he was asked about it and said, "Yeah, I'm down for whatever." And said he wasn't happy with his role here, but he's now playing over Kendrick Bourne. So what do you make of that? What do you make of Jalen Polk's touchdown catch? I thought that was sort of going to get the renaissance going for Jalen Polk, come back from the dead a little bit, but it was his only catch on the day. He did take a significant amount of snaps as well. So thoughts, performance, and also Kayshon Boutte, I want to give him some flowers too. He has turned into Drake May's guy as far as like when shit hits the fan, when I need to go make a play, whether it's down the middle, crossing the middle, an out route, a comeback route on this, like he's gonna I wrote it down. It's gotta have it situations. When you're in gotta have it situations, Drake May is going to Kayshon Boutte. He's turned into that go-to guy for him. So thoughts on the wide receiver room as a whole today?
Yeah, so let's start with Kayshon Boutte first of all. Played a team high 59 offensive snaps scored in the PFF. He was the only player who even crossed the 30 mark. So tells you that he is the Patriots go-to receiver. He really has been for weeks, but I feel like we're just getting more and more evidence of that. Now, I think there was like one play that he paid. Oh no, there was the deep ball where that's the one thing. He and Drake May have struggled to connect on the deep pass the past couple weeks. That's maybe the one gripe, but yeah, I mean, he's got the slant route. There was another catch that he made on a bootleg where Drake kind of threw behind him. He made a nice adjustment. So Kayshon Boutte really finally starting to really emerge as that guy. You've seen the plays here and there, but this was the first time I was like, oh, it feels like Drake May's kind of locking in on him. I don't mind it because he's actually getting open. So yeah, absolutely give him the credit. Also thrown some key blocks as well. He did get called for a holding. That was pretty egregious, to be honest.
But on the throw out to Douglas on that, that was a hold. That was a tough one.
That was kind of rough. But yes, he has played well overall, which has been really great to see. Then looking at the rest of the room. So with Jalen Polk, the touchdown, I think it was just well executed and it was well called. That was actually a look that the Patriots had used last week against the Titans and got a good run in the red zone with like that motion from Hunter Henry. They've also shown that the past couple of weeks. So that was really well schemed and dialed up. Great job from Jalen Polk capitalizing to make the actual touchdown grab. Also, one thing about Kayshon Boutte I wanted to bring up. He has 6 catches in end-of-half situations for the Patriots. Like one was a touchdown. I think another one was like the one where he almost crossed and we're still not totally sure that he wasn't in. And when he's in open field, he's done a great job finding the ref. So I want to give him credit for his situational awareness as well. But yeah, going back to the other receivers. So I don't know if they trust Jalen Polk fully to be like the guy. I think he was mostly in 2 receiver sets, it looked like. Then KJ Osborne over Javon Baker. Javon Baker also is an X, and that's where Kayshon Boutte's been. I think that's maybe a reason we haven't seen a ton of him. I was disappointed. I wanted to see more, but I mean, I think that they're going to give him more opportunities as they see more behind the scenes. So maybe that's just kind of an indictment on that. And then when it comes to KJ over Kendrick Bourne, who didn't play at all, I don't care that KJ played over Kendrick for 1 week. I don't. Okay. They're both veterans. I think Polk, like I said, has not been reliable enough. So Kendrick Bourne has been really the number 2 receiver with Demario Douglas obviously being the slot receiver in 3 receiver sets. So I don't really care. I think that Kendrick Bourne made 3 at least glaring mistakes against the Titans and acknowledged them. He told us, yeah, I should have gotten more depth on the curl on 3rd down. He also did that again on a play where he wasn't targeted. And then on the scramble touchdown that May threw, he said, yeah, I probably should have been running around more. And I said, it's kind of weird for your veteran receiver to be making those kinds of mistakes. Now, Kendrick Bourne or KJ Osborne hasn't been much better. He had the touchdown against the Jaguars, obviously, but really all he had to do was catch it. He got called for stepping out of bounds this week on a ridiculous throw from Drake May, by the way. That was one of the best throws we've seen from him in his career so far. A little Josh Allen there.
I thought he was throwing it away, and then he squeezes it in right on the sideline, right in his hip pocket.
Dude, I started to look away so I could type a tweet out, and then was like, wait a minute. Did you actually catch that? That was wild. But yeah, I think that Kendrick Bourne needs to be better. He was more productive last week, but again, the overall result wasn't great. Now KJ Osborne, also, you put him out there. We assumed he would be traded after this week and once he can actually pick his team. So that was an interesting decision. But really it just tells me that Kendrick Bourne wasn't doing enough. And again, we heard that the offense wasn't quite doing enough this week. And you start to do the math, and I'm not reporting anything. I'm not saying anything definitively, but if that's the case and one guy in the receiver room gets 0 snaps, that doesn't really feel like a coincidence.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think circumstantially with, again, the contract situations and where KJ was heading into the trade deadline, it's just kind of odd. But you're right. You read the tea leaves and you see where this thing went, where, like you said, one healthy, active receiver doesn't get any snaps. It tells me that clearly not something happened in practice, like something. He's just not playing well. Like, that's what it is. Last week of practice, not playing great. KJ Osborne, we just talked about it, has been a really good pro. And I'm sure he probably continues to be a really good pro. He takes these guys along. He takes them under their wing. He comes in. He plays okay today, I guess. I mean, he could have tried to get his feet in on that sideline throw. But, so no Kendrick Bourne today. So we'll see how that goes as the year goes on.